My name is Jessica Marie, and I am the artist behind VulvaLoveLovely. One of the questions I get a lot when I tell people what I do is, how did you start doing that? So I wanted to take a minute and answer that question. At the age of 14, I experienced a really horrible sexual trauma that would haunt me for the rest of my life. And it just progressively got worse and worse. And it got to the point where at the age of 21, I was not able to even touch my body in the shower to clean. I was uncomfortable in sexual situations, and I saw my value as being so low that I was garbage, I was trash, and I let men treat me like trash. And I think in a way I was punishing myself for something. But the years went on, and I grew closer and closer to the man that I was eventually going to marry. And intimacy with him just got really difficult. I would have flashbacks, I would cry, and it wasn't even just when I was being intimate, I was having nightmares. I would have flashbacks in the middle of the day, in the middle of doing something, and it just got to the point where my life was really difficult to live. So my first inclination was to go to a mental health counselor, and I did. And it did help. We talked a lot about things. I saw her for about a month or two. But my biggest problem was that I had displaced a lot of my emotions. I put all of that fear, I put all of that shame and anger, I put it all onto my vulva. It was a very specific location of these feelings, if that makes any sense. So my counselor was never really able to tackle that with me. She wasn't comfortable saying the V word, and I really needed to say it. I really needed to get it out there. So, like I said, it got to the point where I couldn't keep living the way that I was living, and counseling wasn't working. I've always been an artist, and I've always expressed my emotions through my art, so I thought it couldn't hurt to try, and I need to do something. So the first vulva pendant I ever made was for myself, and it was my vulva, and I'll never forget the first day I had it, and I put it on my desk so I would see it every day, and it was the most horrible thing I had ever seen. It was unattractive, and it was wrong, and everything was just wrong about it. It was the wrong shape, it was the wrong color, it was just bad. And I kept it on my desk, and I looked at it every day, and after about 2 weeks, I started to find that I would find little things about it that weren't so bad. Maybe that curve is really pretty. Maybe that freckle is kind of cute. Maybe the color is kind of pretty. The color was really hard for me to get over, because it's supposed to be pink, right? And I still kept it on my desk. I still looked at it every day, and finally, months later, I was able to look at it and it hit me one day, and I was just able to see it for what it was. It was not bad. It was not wrong. It was not an omen of bad things to come. It was not like a black hole. It just was what it was. It was a part of me, and it was beautiful, and there's nothing wrong with it. And at the time, I was volunteering at a rape crisis center, and I decided one day that I was going to wear it. I was going to go to the group counseling meeting, and I was going to wear it. So I was leading this group discussion, and I was wearing my vulva, and it was so empowering because it was like I had taken it back. I had taken back what was mine, and I was proud of it, and I wasn't ashamed of it. And instantly, all of the women needed to ask me about it, and all of the women needed one. So I spent the next 3 weeks making all of these vulva pendants for these women, and their story of how that went for them was a lot like mine. They first saw it, it was terrible, and then after, you know, looking at it over and over again, they were able to see just how beautiful and just how valuable they were, and how there was nothing inherently flawed about them. And that was right around the time that the economy fell. I think that was around 2004 or 2005. And the donations for the center dropped like a stone. And we weren't sure that we were going to be able to stay open for another year. So they asked me if there would be any way that I could help raise money for our yearly donation to get where it needed to be. And a few weeks before that, a friend of mine had come to my house, and she saw all of this vagina stuff around my house everywhere, and she suggested that I should sell it. And I kind of poo-pooed that idea, and I thought, nobody wants to buy that. But to help raise money, it seemed like the perfect thing to do. So I opened up my store, and within a week, the thank you letters started rolling in. Women from Iceland, women from Canada, women from all over the US. I had a woman from, I think it was, where was it? I think it was the Middle East somewhere. I can't remember now because it was 2005. But I had a thank you letter from her. I had so much gratitude coming to me, and that really humbled me, and it really helped me to understand that this was something I needed to do. This was something I needed to put out there to the world, and that's sort of how the store got started, and it kind of snowballed from there. Women just picked up on it and they ran with it, and I think that that is just so much a sign of how ready women are to be done with criticizing themselves and feeling like they're not valuable or worthy. And so that's how we got here now, and I'm just so humbled, and thank you women so much. This has changed my life just as much, if not more, as it has changed yours. So thank you so much, and that's the answer to how VulvaLoveLovely got started. If you have any other questions, I love to answer them. Just email me with your question at vulvalovelovely@gmail.com, and I really hope to hear from you. Alright, take care, ladies.